Welcome to the Career Changemaker podcast, where we focus on owning your career journey and making impact through the work that you do. Whether you're looking to pivot, transition into leadership, or reimagine your career completely, this podcast is for you. We'll unpack career development strategies, leadership insights, and the mindset shifts needed to thrive in your career. Being a career changemaker means taking control and shaping your professional path with intention. I'm your host, lawyer turned career and leadership development specialist, Janine Esbrand. So if you're ready for candid conversations that are going to help you grow, keep listening. Hello, and welcome to the show. Today is a guest episode, and I had the pleasure of interviewing an amazing human being, one of my past clients, Maren, and I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes on her coaching journey and how she has gone from being confused and unsure about what's next to creating something amazing. I'm excited for you to hear this conversation. One of the things I love most about coaching isn't just the transformation in terms of the results that clients get, but it's also the transformation in terms of who they become in the process. That's the bit that really lights me up, because as you go through coaching and you understand yourself more, you raise your level of self-awareness, you start to take action, you start to get results, you shift and change as a person and your confidence grows. And that was so true for Maren. Without further ado, let's just dive into my conversation with her. Can't wait for you to hear it. Hi, Maren. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you.
So excited to have you. Before we dig into all the juiciness that I want to talk to you about, let's start by you introducing yourself to the audience.
Absolutely. I can. Thank you for having me, Janine. I'm Maren, originally from the Netherlands, but I've been living in Sweden for many years now, mainly for love. I met my Swedish husband back in the Netherlands, and that decision to move to Sweden really set a lot of things in motion for me. So I originally trained as a physiotherapist, but once I moved to Sweden, my career path became actually quite a squiggly one. I moved through different roles within administration and tech support, and eventually I actually found my way into HR tech as an implementation consultant. And along the way, I realized that I was always drawn to systems and how things work in the background and behind the scenes of all this, software as a service tools. So it led me back to university in Stockholm to study a bachelor's program in computer and system sciences. Mm-hmm. And after that, I worked as a customer success manager, still in HR tech. But at some point, though, I kind of hit a wall. So I was recovering from a period of being really tired, not really burned out yet, but on my way. And I started questioning whether the path I was on really fit who I am, actually. And that's where I met you, Janine. You came into the picture, and it ended up being a bit of a turning point for me.
I love it. Let's talk about it. So you had quite a interesting journey and gained lots of experience in different places and spaces. So talk to me a bit about where you were at, how you were thinking, how you were feeling at the point when you reached out.
Well, I was recovering from a time of where I really felt really tired. The work I was doing was requiring a lot. I felt like I was constantly in my on mode, if I can say it like that, or like express it like that. And I really felt frustrated, but also unhappy where I was. I wasn't happy with who I became at that point. And I was like, I need to make some changes because I can't see myself doing this, what I'm doing right now, or what I was doing back then. So yeah, that felt, I really needed a change. And then I was looking for a career coach because that was what I really wanted. And then I remember like listening to your podcasts, and then in one of the podcasts, and I just discovered you like October 2024, I think it was. Yes. And you had some podcasts that you published in September, and then you said that you were doing the last cohort of your, I think it was a Career Changemakers program.
Yes, the group program.
Was I was so gutted because Janine, I was like, that would have been the perfect fit for me. So what I did, I was just looked you up on LinkedIn, and I was like, I need to reach out to her and ask Janine, this is the case. This is where I am right now, and I think we would be a great fit. And how do you have any people you could recommend instead of you then? Because I really wanted to do that career change makers program, but I was too late. And then he said, "Oh, Maren, I do have one-on-one slots as well. So if you want to have like one-on-one career coaching, shall we book a like get to know each other meeting?" And that was we hit it off immediately, Janine.
Yeah,
In my like how I felt.
yeah, 100%. I was like, oh, this lady's so lovely. But one thing from that is oftentimes people can just take no for an answer, like as in, oh, the program's finished. Okay, I can't do it. And I think you
Mm.
showing that persistence and the willingness to just put yourself out there and just say, actually, I'm just going to send a message. I think that's a great quality to have, and I think we'll talk about it a bit in terms of how you leverage that quality later on in your career change process. But for people who are listening, I think being a bit bold and just be willing to not necessarily accept the status quo for the status quo, because things aren't always as they seem, right? It's like, oh, closed, I can't do this thing. And the doors aren't always closed in the way people think they are closed, right? So I think that's
Exactly, exactly. You're so right. That's what I really want to. It might be a tip for at the end of the podcast, but I think like don't take no for an answer the first time. Just see if you can, if there's more to be discovered.
yes,
Yes,
yes.
I've done that several times in my life actually. That I didn't take no for an answer.
And I'm sure good results came out of that.
Yes, actually, that yes, it's true. Yes,
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. So as we got into the program and started to explore different things that you might want to do, how did you find that exploration process? Because I know that there were some things that came up in those initial conversations about what you might want to do one day that at first when you mentioned them they were very much comments like, yeah, that would be lovely, but I can't see myself doing that, or that's not for me. And later on we
Mm.
shifted from that. But talk a little bit about that, those initial stages where you were thinking about what's possible for you.
Yeah, so I think I mentioned like in the very early beginnings that I might want to start my own business, but I don't think that is for now. So we initially were working together on what kind of roles I would see myself in, like having a day-to-day job somewhere you can go to, like being an employee. So that is yeah what we were discovering together, and we did some you had some different tools that you wanted me to work with, so you have to disc profile, and then we did the 5 whys. So we were really like diving more and more into what are my the greatest assets for me I like to work with, like the knowledge or the talents that you have kind of sort of inbuilt and that come naturally to you. So we were on a discovery tour, and then at some point when we like kind of filtered that out, you pushed me out and like check LinkedIn and see if there are any roles that would appeal to you
Yeah.
and that you find interesting, and have a look at people who have that profile on LinkedIn and see what they do day to day, and then reach out to these people and ask
Mhm.
what they do day to day. And I was like, yeah, sure. that, that was a little scary. So yeah, but in that whole process, when we went through all these different steps, um, I was looking at program management. I was looking at procurement. I was looking at what I can't even remember what I was looking at, but it's every single thing I saw. I was no, no, this is not me. It would fit my like my traits and the talents that I have, but no, I don't think I would like to work in that specific area. And then at some point, I don't even know how that came about, but I was like, I want to start my own business because the way I think of how I want to live my life and I want to have how I want to work is something that maybe one can accomplish by being self-employed.
Yeah, yeah. I think, and
Yes.
I think what was lovely to see is that when we were doing the initial exploration work, we did a lot of digging into what's important to you, what your values are, what your workplace preferences are, and I think in that process, you became
Yeah.
more and more confident around your preferences and kind of giving yourself
Yes.
permission to say, actually, I like working in this type of environment, or I'm really good with this, or it drives me crazy when I'm working with a team that's like this, and knowing why, because I think once we looked at your disc profile and understood you as a person, a lot of things started to make sense to you as to like, oh, that's why that doesn't really work, or
Yeah.
that's why I'm drawn to
Yes.
this thing. So I think then when you went out into the marketplace and you're looking at, okay, this role, this role, this role, it's like, now that I know myself a bit better, I don't know if that's right. And then I think that's the point where you were able to give yourself permission to say, maybe I do want to run my own business. And maybe it isn't such
Yes.
a far away topic that isn't achievable for me until like the next 10 years. It's like, no, that could be a like that could be a now thing. That could be a year from now, 2 years from now. It doesn't have to be 10 years from now.
No, exactly. Yes. And that realization, it gave so much happiness in my body. I really felt like this is what I want to do. This is where I want to head to and work towards. I also remember that I had to do like I made it kind of a vision board, I think, that I showed to you. What was the assignment again? It was not the career timeline?
No, it was to
No.
think about your ideal work day and to kind of
Yes,
do an exercise where you're considering where you want to see yourself and the impact
exactly,
that you want to be
exactly,
making. Yes.
exactly. And I had to describe it in words. And I was like, no, words will not express how I feel right now. So then I made this whole vision board that I showed you. And I said, Janine, this is my life looks like. I can't explain it in words, but if you see it, I mean, I can feel this. This is where I want to work and how I would like to dress and what I want to work with and when I want to start during the day and when I want to end during the day. And yeah, it just, it felt like coming alive again.
As someone on the other side of the screen in our coaching conversations, and even if we were to look back at the recordings, going from those initial sessions where you were in that space of, oh, I don't really know what's going on, like I don't want, like this isn't it, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't want to do this. And then when you got to the place where you're like, oh, I can see
Yes.
it. It was literally like chalk and cheese in terms of how you were showing up. And I think not only how you were showing up in terms of being excited and being like, oh, I can see it, but even how you started to view yourself and like
Mm,
what you bring to the table. And I want us to dig into that a little bit because I think when people think about something like making a career transition, we can focus very much on the external, like what is the job? What is the title? What do I need to do to land the job? What do I need to do to start the business? And
yeah.
that is all important. But beneath the surface of that is who do you need to be as a person and what do you need to believe about yourself? And I think you had a big shift in terms of your beliefs around like what you bring to the table and how much value you bring. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that because I was like, okay, now she sees how amazing she is. Because at first I'm like, why are we
Thank you.
questioning this? Why are we questioning this?
Yeah, so I remember that we also had a discussion about things like which feel very or come very natural to me that are not specifically very natural to others where I think, well, come on, this is common sense. Can you please use your common sense? But then we had this discussion. You said, well, Maren, you would be surprised about how many people do who do not have this common sense and do not feel like this is the natural step. So it's it was that realization, um, but also kind of, I think, standing up for yourself and what you're worth in an organization, for example. So I was still working at that same workplace where I also was a customer success manager. And there were some shifts going on in the organization, and I got a new manager. And at that point, I also felt like I was really able to voice what I was thinking, what I was feeling, and kind of standing up for myself, saying, like, this is what happened during the past year, and I'm not having that anymore. And I think that I'm valuable in this organization for this and this and this and that. And the fact that I was, to me, it felt like being really blunt and becoming vocal in that sense really felt like I'm doing this, and nobody was like throwing tomatoes or cakes or rotten eggs at me. And I was like, oh wow, I'm so I felt like my confidence was becoming like more steadfast in me and more like, yeah, I'm not taking this anymore. I'm just going to speak up and say what I think.
And
And then yeah.
what was the response, Maren? Because I think you've hit on something that a lot of people, it's almost like an assumption that a lot of people make that hold them back from advocating for themselves, where it's like, if I say this or if I speak up, this is going to happen. And because people
Yes.
are anticipating something is going to happen, whether that's a reaction, whether that's negative feedback, they don't do the thing. So, in your
No,
experience, as someone who's like, actually, I feel like I need to speak up, when you spoke up, what was the response?
it was actually a very great response. There was nothing that led to someone being angry or whatever. They really appreciated it. They appreciated the feedback, and it it kind of opened up doors as well because I spoke up. I
Yes.
was n- I was not holding back anymore. I was showing myself. I was showing the value that I was bringing to the organization, and like really vocalizing that to management. And in that, yeah, things just shifted. And
Yeah.
I was kind of taken aback a little bit by that, because in
Yeah.
the beginning I was like, oh my gosh, nothing bad happens when you speak up. Nothing bad happens when you just show your confidence.
Yeah.
And that is what I really, yeah, what I've appreciated so much during this whole journey that I felt like, yeah, my confidence, that it grew so much more.
Yeah. And I think it comes from you testing and doing, because I could tell you on day one, like, okay, if you do this, this is going to happen. But you could be like, yeah, okay, Janine, that worked for that other client, or like, yeah, but I don't know. But then when you do it, and it's like, no, I did speak up and I did get feedback, or I did put myself out there on LinkedIn, and people are talking to me. Not only one
Yes.
conversation, but now I've got a whole network of people that I'm speaking to.
Cookie. Yes.
And it's like,
Yes. Yeah. And that's the amazing thing as well, because when we came to that whole point where I felt like I want to start my own business, this is what I want to do, this is what makes me happy and what feels lighter, it kind of made it easier. In the beginning, it was still a little scary, of course, to reach out to totally unknown people. um I'm naturally an introvert and not a super great networker, but I had to put myself out there, and I reached out to different people whom I thought had a very interesting profile and who are working with things that I also intend or work with in my business. And it was such an amazing experience to, like, the people who were in that specific area where I also have my business, they were so welcoming, and it was so nice to meet them, and they were all open for having conversations and online coffee dates, so to speak.
yeah.
Because these people, they are spread out over the world, actually, in the US, in Austria, in France, in Spain. It's just amazing. Yeah, so it has brought me a lot in that sense. You have to push against your own boundaries just to get out there. You need to get out there. Open the doors of your own boundaries. Just do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's such a cliche, but that is where the growth happens.
Yes, absolutely. Because once you do it once, it's like, oh, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Let me have more conversation.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's through those conversations that you were able to gain more like specific clarity around what you even would want the business to look like and what service you would like to offer and how you want to start building that out. And I think so often people try and gain the clarity in their heads, going around in
Yeah.
circles of like, what would I do? How would I do it? I don't know. And it's the action and the data that you get from that action that gets you to a
Yes.
point where you're like, oh, actually, yes, I think that this is what I want to do. Not just from I've just thought it up out of thin air, but I've thought about it, I've tested it, I've had conversations, I've got feedback, I've got data, and now I'm going to make a decision.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. But I still do have that I'm living in my head sometimes, but then now I'm much more conscious about it and feel like, okay, no, you don't have to do that. You can get out of your head and just take the action, do the work.
Yeah. And as you
Yes.
do it, the other thing that was so cool to watch or observe is the shift in how you started to think differently. So once you decided that I'm going to start a business and you researched what needed to happen in order for you to do that, you then started thinking like a business owner. So we would have coaching calls and you'd be like, yeah, so
Yes.
I wanted to do this thing, so I've now researched this thing, and I had this one conversation with someone, and I thought, I can help them. Here's how I can help them. And I'm going to set up a call so I can think about how my service can be. And I was like, oh, okay, Maren, you're way down the road. I haven't even had a chance to say to you that that would be a good idea. And you've already done that. Yeah, I've scheduled a call with them. I've scheduled a follow up. I'm like, okay, I'll just sit back here. But it was so good
Yeah.
to see from someone who initially was like, yeah, one day I'd love to start a business, to like, oh no, I'm figuring this out. I'm figuring out how I do it, where I do it, what I need to do, who I need to talk to. I'm about
Yes.
that life. I was like, oh wow, yeah, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I know. It was like this. What do you call the switch? You make the switch in your head, and then you think like, this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to go after, and I need to make it happen. I need to make it work, and yeah, then I'm like, I'm going to get it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
Yes.
So where did you land? So let's talk now about the business idea, where you landed with it, and some of your feelings around getting started and
Yeah.
the ways that you're looking at it, because it isn't always like, oh, I decide that I'm going to start a business and then I walk away from my career. Sometimes there's this transitional period and you'll have the idea and you know what you're working on and you're working towards moving into that full time. So talk a bit about how that idea developed and then how you've been thinking about the transition.
Yeah. So as soon as I made the decision that I wanted to start my own business, I took action and I talked to my employer and said I would like to start my own business. And here in Sweden, you have the opportunity. It is regulated in the law that if someone who wants to start their own business and you need to have worked at this same employer long enough to be able to take this leave of absence. So I was able to take a leave of absence for 6 months. So you still have job security. You can come back to your old role. So I applied for that and said, yeah, guys, I just want to do this. So, and they have to give you that. It's not like, no, you cannot do this. You need to say this 3 months in advance. So that's what I did. And then from August, like the 2025, started my own business officially. And then this whole ball of everything that happens with it is rolling. And it's been scary. It's been overwhelming. It's been fun. It has been very developing as well, like as a person, but also for the business. I've had headaches, I can tell you that.
course,
because
of course.
I was sometimes I really felt like, oh gosh, what did I get myself into? Because it's if you get to the point that you start your own business, there is so much you don't think of when you are an employee at a company. You do the job that you are appointed to do when you are an employee.
Yep.
But as a business owner, you have to think of so much more than just the tasks that you are assigned to do as an employee. So it has been, yeah, it has been everything. I mean, the highs, the lows, everything in that short period of time. But it has been very rewarding as well because I've learned so much during that process
Yeah.
as well about myself. And the conclusion that I've taken from that, I'm still starting, I'm still working on the startup. I mean, it's just like half a year ago that I started, or
Yeah.
less even. But what I have discovered is that I like to take chances. But risks, oh gosh,
We
that's a
like them
whole
to be
other story.
calculated risks, not like just
Yes,
plain risks. It's like we need to calculate
exactly.
and we need to figure out, because
Yes.
it's a lot. It's a lot to transition, and sometimes it's recognizing what are the things that are going to keep my nervous system in check in this transition.
Yeah.
Like, what do I need in order for this to work, in terms of me not getting derailed, me not rocking in the corner because I can't cope. It's hard. It's so rewarding, but it isn't easy. And I think you taking the
No.
time to really test and assess what is going to be the right fit, what is going to make sense, means that you have your why. And you talked about like the 5 why exercise that we did, you knowing why you're doing this, so you have something to come back to in those moments of
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yes.
It's so important.
So I was so happy that during the time I also had you still as my coach, because after we had gone through the career changing, no, it's not the career change maker program, but the one-on-one coaching
Yeah.
for figuring out what you want to do in your career, we decided to like work together for a longer period of time, and then you would be my business coach.
Yeah.
So I was really happy that we had that as well, because I really needed it. But we spread it out a little. The time between our coaching sessions, they were longer than what they were when we were
Yes.
talking about the career change, because you have to give yourself some time and space as well to figure things out and work things through and get your admin in place and whatever is necessary to get this business rolling.
Yes.
So I was so happy, because I've had times where I really felt like, oh my gosh, and I needed to vent. I needed the pep talk and all of that, because it was really, yeah, it's quite a journey,
It is
one could
definitely a
say.
journey. It's definitely a
Yeah.
journey. And I do think at the early stages, it is important, because you can absolutely go down so many rabbit holes with building a business, and there's so many ways to do it. And I remember there was one session where we hadn't met for a few weeks, and then you came back and you were telling me about this whole new thing that you were focused on. And I was like, what? Why are we doing that? Yeah, like, I love that for you,
Yes.
Maren. I absolutely love that for you, but not right now, Maren, because you said you wanted to
Yes.
do X, Y, and Z, and that is not taking you to where you want to get to. And I think having
No.
that accountability, whether it is on the business side or like career coaching, can be so
Yeah.
helpful, because when you're in it, it's so easy for you to just, you want to make progress, and momentum is important. But I've seen it where people kind of go off track, and you're like, wait, I know what you're doing, but that's not going to get you where you want to get to. Come back, come back, come back.
Yes, exactly. But I've got a visual in my head right now of this. I have this app, Flight Radar, because sometimes I like to see where flights are going. And if we would okay, let's take a flight from London to Stockholm, it would be like, and mine would have been like squiggly, like, it would be the long road. And then fuel, I will run out of fuel.
This is a good
Yes.
analogy. This is a very good
Yeah.
analogy.
I didn't take the straight line from London to Stockholm. I was like, oh, let's go to Berlin. Oh, Copenhagen looks nice as well.
I'm going to use this, Maren. This is such a good. So when you get coaching, you are taking a direct flight. When you do it on
Yes.
your own, you are going on a multi-stop trip. It's essentially what
Yes,
we're
you
saying.
do. And you can still have fun along the way, but it will take so much time to get from point A, from London to Stockholm, or vice versa.
Yes, so
Yes.
good, so good. So when you think about where you are now, and I want you to mention your company and what you do, what would you say has been your biggest learning about yourself, and what was the most helpful about the coaching experience when you think about where you started and where you are now?
So the thing I learned about myself, first of all, like speaking up for myself, having the confidence, that was really nice. But also discovering that I am more of a calculated risk taker
Mm,
than the big risk taker.
yeah.
Because in that period of time, that short period of time I had there, I remember that I had many, many headaches, like it was a physical headache.
Mm,
So it told me something. My body was speaking to me and saying, like, okay, we might need to take it down a little step.
mm,
So we think about the calculated risk instead of taking the whole risk. Um, so that was a big lesson for me. And the coaching in itself, for me, it has been an amazing journey with you together, Janine. Like having you on my side, cheering me on, and helping me like clarify all the thoughts that I
mm.
had and all the feelings I was going through. And that has helped me so, so much. It has been so invaluable that I think it's, yeah, you can't put any, like anything on it. I don't even know how to explain it right
Yeah.
now, but it has been amazing. It has been hard. It has been tough. It has been scary, but in a whole, I can't be thankful enough. I think because it's so, yeah. It's where I stood in December 2024 and
Mm,
where I'm standing now. It's a world of difference.
yeah. Oh, I love it. And I
Yes.
will say kudos to you for being so coachable because I am a smiley person. I'm always laughing. I am very positive, but sometimes I do give it to you real. And I will be the one to be like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, you do.
can I just share with you a different way of thinking about that? And you'd always be open where I'd be like, yeah, Maren, I hear what you're saying, but I also see the other side of this. And you'd always be open and willing to like, hear that and absorb that and just be like, okay, yeah. Sometimes you would say, I need to sit on that or I need to go away, think about that. Sometimes you'd be like, oh yeah, actually, you're right. And I think that is such a good quality to have. It's one thing signing
Oh,
up to work with a coach, and it's another thing being open to taking on the guidance and the support. And I think you've been fully open throughout the process, because you love
oh,
learning
thank
and you
you.
love growing. You're like
Thank
you're
you.
and so that's what I get really excited about because I'm like I can see the light bulbs going off, but then I know she's not only having a light bulb moment, she's going to take action, and then you come back
Yes.
following week or a few
Yes.
weeks later.
Well, you still, you have the flight tower. I
Yeah.
mean, I still have it figuratively in my head, the flight tower, and I'm like, Janine is like saying to me now, Maren, this is not your way from London to Stockholm. You're on your way to Copenhagen now.
I love
What
that. You're
is your
like,
altitude?
I have the voice. I think it's so funny because you're not the only client that said that, where they're just like, yeah, I was going to do this thing. And then I heard your voice that said, why are you doing that? Or why are
Yeah.
you not doing that? So then I thought
Yeah.
differently. I love it. I love it. So good. It's been, as I said, it's been incredible to see you grow in this way and you go from feeling stuck and frustrated and unsure to like, oh, I know the plan. Now I'm working the plan. I'm doing amazing things. So tell the people what your business is. What is it called? What do you do? Where can they find you?
Yes. So today, I run my own business and I help small and growing businesses create calm behind the scenes. So if you're a business owner who feels like things are getting messy and you don't feel that you have a system or a structure or workflows, that's where I come in. So it's really about bringing clarity into the chaos. And so if you are business owners, you want to focus on the things that you love to work with and what you enjoy most. And the stuff in the background also needs to be clarified, structured, and organized. And where I do that is my business called Fluey. So F as in Frederick, Loohi. Fluey. That is that's my business now. I love it. And I can also say this is not an ad for Notion, but I really love Notion. If you don't know that, look it up.
You know, like what's actually amazing is if you know Maren, or if you get to know Maren, you will know that this business and what she is doing for other people is so well aligned to her skill set. Like it's so this when you think about what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, what you excel at, being able to use that skill set and that passion to help people in a way that they need the help is just like chef's kiss amazing, because it's a win-win. You're gonna love doing the work and they're gonna love what you create. And so I'm gonna stop because you can hear I'm getting very excited.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, go and check out Fluey. I will put the link to Maren's LinkedIn in the show notes so you can connect with her there. If you want to find out more about Notion and how that all works, which is a software that she uses in her business to support people, then check out the show notes. But Maren, this has been lovely to just have this time to reflect with you over your journey. If there is anyone listening who is considering getting coaching and they're on the fence or they're unsure, like what would you say to them?
Go for it. Go for it, like I did. Just reach out to Janine and say, like, I need your help. I need to, where I am right now, I don't feel happy. I'm not content. I'm frustrated, whatever. Coaching it's life-changing. That is, I can literally say that. It is life-changing. It will help you discover what it is you want, where you want to go to, and your whys. Why are you doing things in your life? And Janine will help you with that. Yes.
Thank you so much. I didn't pay her, guys. I did not pay her to say this.
No, she did not. I will send an invoice at the end of the month.
Thank you so much for sharing, Maren. Thank you for being transparent and sharing a bit about your journey. I'm excited to see where you take this. It's going to go from strength to strength, I have no doubt. And yeah, I just appreciate you and appreciate the opportunity to work with you. So thank you.
Thank you, Janine. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. It is always awesome for me to catch up with past clients and see what amazing things they are doing since our time working together. And I'm super excited for Maren and her business venture and all that she is going on to do. If you were listening to our conversation and thinking, yes, I could do with some support like that, I would like to coach with Janine, then I would invite you to book a call with me. Go over to the show notes, click the link, book yourself a career clarity call, and we can have a conversation about your situation and how I might be able to support you and how I may be able to support you in making whatever career transition is next on the cards for you. So click the link in the show notes, go ahead and book a call. And also, if you want to learn more about Maren, her business, what she's doing now, you'll find those links in the show notes as well. Until next time, look after yourself and keep moving towards your career goals.